Over the last several months, Jaguar have been subject to a fair amount of controversy. They had a very unpopular rebrand, which was subject to a lot of criticism. The CEO is now stepping down. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Wokers, crowned by one of my haters, not by myself. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, switch on the notification bells so that you know I am releasing another video. Thank you to everyone who's joined me already. I cannot run this channel without you. Please do keep it friendly in the chat. And well, I've got a little bit of a reminder for you. I thought you might like to watch this again. So let's take a look at the brand Jaguar, their advert that copies everything. There you go. Look at this. What is going on? There you go. You tell me, what do you think of that? Now, I hope you will remember that ad for the rebrand. It was androgynous. It was confusing. I didn't know what it was when I first saw it. And they thought it would appeal to a certain sort of group of people. And that seems to be a certain way of advertising a lot these days. Hopefully, after everything with Sydney Sweeney, we are going to get back to some sense of normality within advertising, and we will know what these companies are actually advertising. However, I did find this a little bit weird. It was announced a few days ago that the CEO was stepping down from Jaguar. And I thought that was really interesting timing. I have an article here from Reuters. It's not the entire article. If you would like to read the entire article, I link all articles in the description below. I always do that. So if you want to be better informed, then you can be. Jaguar Land Rover says CEO Mardell to step down. London, July 31st. Reuters. Okay, so this was last Thursday or something? Jaguar Land Rover chief Adrian Mardell will step down after more than 3 decades at the company, having said he wanted to retire after 3 years as CEO. A spokesperson for the automaker said on Thursday. Oh, I was right, Thursday. His successor will be announced in due course, the spokesperson added. Mardell, who joined Jaguar Land Rover in 1990, became chief executive in November 2022 following a stint as chief financial officer from June 2019 and spearheaded a major brand revamp at Jaguar. So he's been there for over 30 years, and I accept, okay, that he may genuinely want to retire. I understand that, and I'm going to take that into consideration. However, I find the timing very, very interesting, to say the least. I've worked at companies before where, I don't know, somebody has made a very, very big change to something that was not popular amongst the staff or the public, and then suddenly they leave. Could it be a possibility that it was nowhere near as well received as he thought it was going to be with this rebrand in and amongst his company? It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Now, in this case, it doesn't really matter, I think, at the end of the day, what problems Jaguar were having prior to the rebrand. What we do know was that it was never well received by the public when they did it. And, the public, well, they didn't take an interest. This was aimed at a group of people that may have existed. You want to entice them into buying these brand new cars that are extremely expensive. The people who they were supposedly catering for are a lot younger and in many cases might not actually be able to afford these types of cars. The concept car didn't look that great either, in my opinion. Mardell chooses to step down, leaving a mess behind in his wake that somebody else is going to have to take over from and clean up. They're either going to have to rebrand again or redesign the entire car or just go back to normal advertising. I mean, you know, go figure. Will they do that? I don't know. The backlash for the original relaunch was so bad. It was so bad that they ended up releasing a statement to Fox News, and this is what they said. Our brand relaunch for Jaguar is a bold and imaginative reinvention, and as expected, it has attracted attention and debate. As proud custodians at such a remarkable point in Jaguar's history, we have preserved iconic symbols, which they changed, while taking a dramatic leap forward. The brand reveal is only the first step in this new exciting era, and we look forward to sharing more on Jaguar's transformation in the coming days and weeks, it said. Soon after, Jaguar took heat with the release of its new EV design that was called a pink Batmobile. Well, if they were going to call it a pink Batmobile, they could have at least put Batgirl's symbol on it to make it look like a Batmobile, or at least tried. Anyway, that aside, it wasn't really that imaginative, though, was it? This rebrand, this relaunch. Yes, it attracted attention, it attracted debate, but it wasn't attracting the right sort of feedback that you really wanted. You also do electric vehicles, and I don't think that electric vehicles are necessarily the way forward, in my opinion. A hybrid, if you are going to go in that direction, would be much better. That's just my personal opinion, okay? If you like electric cars, that's great. Honestly, I expected the rebrand and relaunch to be imaginative. So imaginative that it would make me go out and want to buy a car that I can't afford. But what they went for was generic and it didn't work. I understand that companies may over time get a little bit stale and they have to do things like this to make themselves better. But I'm not sure if that was the best way to go. And it has potentially resulted in the CEO, Adrian Mardell, stepping down under the pretense of retiring, which could very well be the case, just so you know. I acknowledge that. But it's just very coincidental that it's several months after this that we have on the screen. I even asked you, though, my subscribers, what you thought of this, and well, this is what you said. So Neville says, I'm not at all surprised. He's tanked the brand with one vain piece of sheer folly. Whoever thought that they could sell Jaguars to people who probably wouldn't be seen dead in one just isn't with it at all. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. He was advertising to a market that was very much a minority, if it did exist. I wonder if they ever did a survey to find out if that particular market that he was advertising to, Jaguar was advertising to, would have been interested in buying a Jaguar or even be able to afford to. Vin Weasel, that's a great name, says, well, the brand is in free fall. 97.5% drop in sales. The ad devalued the resale price of the cars people owned, hitting them in the pocket. The prototype electric cars that did finally emerge looked like trans house bricks on wheels. He alienated the traditional customer base, chased after one that didn't appear because it was never there, and in the process took a massive dump all over the company's legacy and their iconic brands such as the E-Type. I'm surprised he wasn't fired out of a railgun into the darkest corner of the universe. Okay, well, in that sense, of that last little bit there, I'm not entirely sure I would have gone that far. But is it possible, though, that this retirement letter was a guise for him being asked to resign and step down as the CEO? That is the question that I put to you. What do you think? Just me, Linny says, go woke, go, it's a joke, go broke. Doc Martin says, oh dear, how sad, never mind. And I would say, go woke, go broke. It's very much that, isn't it? The CEO of a company is supposed to fix issues not create more of them, or at least not help to create more of them. Well, that's what I think. So before I go, though, subscribers, I have other platforms available. I've been working very hard on that. Some of my previous platforms like Spotify is still up. It's still going. I need to get back into the habit of uploading my videos as an audio format. So I will try my best to do that. But I am on there should you wish to take a listen to the videos in audio format. I've also got Rumble. Obviously, I have X. Some of you know that I am on X because you follow me over there. I've got Substack, which is really good to have because if you end up subscribing to me on Substack, you will get an email every time I release a video on there. None of this nonsense that YouTube does. I've also got an Instagram where I will release clips of the videos. And I've also got TikTok as well, which I'm going to do something similar. And I do have a Discord too. Some of you are in there already. I will put the link, because that obviously changes every week, into the pinned comment for you. So feel free to join me on all of those platforms. They are all linked in the description should you wish to join me there. And if not, I will just see you here on YouTube, and that's absolutely fine. Remember to chat about it, don't shout about it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bye bye.